Welcome to Talk About Nerds, a bi-weekly, always geeky podcast about all things nerd. My name is Sindre, and with me I have my magically gifted friend Åvar, and my younger addition, the jockiest nerd, Kenneth. This podcast is a product of Nords and Nerds, a media group where we stream D&D on Mondays, Magic the Gathering on Tuesdays, and Warhammer on Wednesdays, every week. Today's episode is sponsored by Victory Point, your local hobby store in Bryne, Norway. Victory Point is a large gaming area where the communities and in-store play are the number one priority.
Victory Point, the starting point of your victories.
Okay, boys, it's been a long time since the last time we had the ability to make a podcast episode due to the ongoing pandemic.
Yes.
Which had our community...
It's almost like it was last year.
Yeah, almost. Well, wait, it was last year.
It was last year, damn it.
Now, we had another lockdown. It took a while for us to set things up in a way that we allow us to actually make this podcast. Luckily, we're brothers, so we can be close to each other. But we've sent Åvar over to his own corner. That's why you'll see two different video streams for this podcast this time.
We might keep it for future episodes as well.
Yeah, if it works, if it's cool.
It was cool.
I can have my own camera.
Yeah. The Åvar camera.
I might be taking over that camera as soon as the pandemic calms down so that I can go further away from this guy.
Nah,
yeah.
Come on.
He's disgusting, I agree.
Anyway, guys, what's been happening since the last time we talked?
A lot has happened.
A new year.
New year.
A new year.
New movie.
New opportunities.
Yes, I hurt myself.
What's that? Isn't that Eminem song?
No, I hurt myself.
No, think about new opportunities.
That's 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah, as well.
No, but since last time, I've been actually mostly busy with Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
Yeah, it's a it's a computer game as well, but it's been busy with the tabletop version.
Yeah, it's mainly like Warhammer football?
Warhammer American Football, yeah.
I think there is a board game edition as well.
Yeah,
I played that a few years ago.
Yeah, it's a tabletop edition. It's a board game / miniature game.
Yeah, tabletop.
Tabletop game.
I watched you play it a little bit Tuesday?
Yeah, could be.
I watched a little bit of it. It's a board game, like most things are.
You get the feel of a board game, but you also get the feel of a sport game, and you also get the feel of a miniature game.
From what I've seen, it's very wacky.
Yeah.
Which I like.
So the thing is, you're playing an American football game. In the world of Blood Bowl, it's like every Warhammer Fantasy armies or factions, and they figure out that instead of actually engaging in war, they will handle their differences on the pitch, playing a game of Blood Bowl. So you have the fun thing about it is you have a couple of teams that are more like trying to play the game and actually scoring and doing what the game is about. And then there's teams that are like, if there's no enemies, we win, right?
Yeah.
So let's just kill them. So it's a bit of that. So it's just like having a lot of bashy things, trying to kill or trying to score. You can do what you want, really. So this is a amazingly fun game, and it's actually captured most of my time since the last podcast, especially most of my hobby tabletop time.
Yeah.
You're at work time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always here playing.
So I've been playing that a lot. And we're actually starting up a league, a Blood Bowl league, which is going to run for 12 weeks, and the winner gets a couple of trophies and the gift cards and stuff.
I saw the trophy.
That's pretty cool.
Fancy.
I've seen the table. Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. So that's going to be fun. Probably going to be 12, 16 players.
When's that starting?
Starting 28th of February.
Oh, so it's a proper month until...
Yeah, so it starts on the Monday of the first week of March. That's going to be 28th of February. So it's going to be fun.
Nice.
And I'm aiming to win the whole thing, of course.
Of course you are.
But because you'll have the most experience, you'll have played it all the time.
No, actually not, because I don't find the computer game. There's a computer game of Blood Bowl as well, and it's basically the exact same as tabletop.
It is?
Yeah.
That's not so usual.
Exactly the same feel, exactly the same style.
Rules.
Only difference, no rules, everything is the same. Only difference is that you don't actually physically roll your die.
Yeah, but it's It's a computer version of the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And a couple of the guys who are gonna join the league have played that game a lot. And me myself, I cannot sit down and have too much fun with that game. It's not. I don't like the computer game. I don't know why. It's the feel
you prefer the tactile feel of the miniatures and the dice.
Yeah,
and the interaction face to face.
Yeah, sitting straight over your opponent.
I get you. I prefer.
It's not social enough for you. Sort of like the social interaction with your opponent that you get in the physical game.
Yeah, it's like when you stomp your opponent, you can just stand up and point at his face and laugh. You can't do that in the computer game.
Yeah, I get what you mean, because I have the same issue with Magic. I prefer the person-to-person playing of Magic over the arena or Magic Online.
It's not the same to type out
LOL, get wrecked, boy.
Yeah, LMFAO, get wrecked, noob.
And also
it's much more giving to say it.
In Magic Arena, it's also very limited in what social interactions you can have.
Yeah, it's like, hello!
And especially if you're playing someone who's slow, then it just gets real boring because it's just quiet. You're waiting for the next
you can
goal.
just be me with infinite patience. I literally waited the guy out once.
Yeah, I wait them out, of course.
I had the advantage, and he was just stretching his turns, probably waiting for me to just leave the game because I didn't want to wait. But I was like, fuck it. I'll wait until you quit, you bitch.
Yeah,
I'll just be playing Raid Shadow Legends on the side and not really caring about the game.
Go make my dinner.
Yeah.
I have all the time in the world.
I get so BM when I get frustrated in the arena. So I'm the guy who just goes to roping or goes to like play the timeout, waiting to the last seconds before I do anything, just to get my opponent as frustrated as I can.
That doesn't work against me.
No.
And that's why the physical game is so much more fun. Yeah. If you have someone doing that in the physical game, you just punch them in the face.
Yeah.
And in the physical one, you can. I was about to say lie, but I don't lie in Magic. I trick people into believing what I say is what they think I said.
There's a fine line there.
Yeah, because I don't lie, but I do not.
You don't
tell like Wheel of Time. If you've read the books or watched the excellent TV series, the witches or Aes Sedai, the female casters, they don't lie. They just don't say everything.
Yeah,
which is the concept of my parentheses lying.
It's basically politics.
Yeah, but I love politics, and I prefer the not lying because then people can't say, "Oh, you lied to me," because I didn't. I told you exactly what I was going to do, and I did that.
True.
Just not the way you expected.
Yes, it's just not the way you were expecting it. But talking about Wheel of Time.
Yeah, I was about to say our last episode of this podcast was November 17th.
Yeah.
At least that's the day we uploaded it to YouTube.
Goddamn Corona.
2 months.
Yeah. And so I was so looking forward to our next episode because we were going to talk about The Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Yep.
A TV series I'd been waiting for a very long time because I really love those books.
Yeah, me as well. We discussed it in my personal friend group on many different years. It was like, oh, it would be awesome if they made a TV series. And like, it's not going to happen. And now it's here.
I remember they made a teaser a few years back.
They did.
Just sort of like the prequel sort of story. It lasted like 5 minutes, I think. And it was just a dialogue between, not Randall Tor, but the precursor.
The Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
I don't remember his name, but yes.
And the other guy is fighting all the time. I don't remember any names today.
Yeah, neither do I. It's Randall Tor, but that is the young current one, and you have the old one with
something.
Yeah, it's.
I just called the Dragon Ball for Scott. He looks like a Scott.
Fair. He does kind of look like a Scott. I would agree.
Anyway, I'm really looking forward to hearing Kenneth's side of this, what he thinks. Because he hasn't never read the books, he doesn't know anything.
Well, he only watched the series.
Yeah, he came in cold to this entire thing.
Give it to us.
I did not give it a single thought before the actual series came out, so I'm basically not heard anything about Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time for me, Wheel of Time was the first 3 episodes was Lord of the Rings. Gandalf goes to meet a couple of 4 Hobbit friends in Hobbitshire, and then they travel the world. That's the first 3 episodes. But that doesn't mean it's bad, because it was an amazing first season.
Yeah.
Because the episode came out one a week, right?
Yeah.
I remember I watched every episode on the day, because it comes out at nighttime in the United States.
I believe so.
So I watched it on the morning the day after. Every episode before I went to work.
I have more patience than that. So I waited.
There was one episode I didn't watch straight away. But I really loved it. It was really, really cool. And you guys knew who Dragon Reborn was.
Yeah.
And if I understand correctly, they don't try to hide it in the book. They just tell you straight away or something like that?
Not quite straight away, but it's like very strongly hinted at early.
Yeah, they do have some sort of like flashbacks in the start and some building up to it, and he is the main POV character in the first book.
He has a heavy focus put on him very early.
And you also know that there's only 3 Tavern, not 5 or 6 as it's in the series.
It's 5 now?
Because it's Egwene and Nynaeve as well.
Because it's Andaltor and the 2 other ones.
Yeah, Egwene and Nynaeve and Matt and Perrin.
Yeah, and Perrin Åvar. But Egwene and Nynaeve, they aren't like even considered being the Dragon Reborn in the books, because the Dragon Reborn has always been a man. Always. Yeah, okay.
And also in the books, there are 3 Tavern. Tavern are people who have a lot of influence on the wheel.
Yeah,
on the time.
They have like passive influence on the world.
Yeah, the world around them. But in the TV series, all 5 of them are Tavern.
Yeah, which is, when I first heard it, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But someone pointed out to me after I'd watched the entire first season, which is they strayed away from the book. But I didn't realize that because I read the books finito, like 10 years ago, so I didn't remember all the details. But the series by itself is very good, mostly.
Well, because back to the point about the Dragon Reborn, because the thing they did in the film was like kind of trying to hide it, not like going out there was Dragon Reborn. Well, so for me, going in blindly, it was like from the start of the first 1 and 2 episodes, you're pretty sure that Scott is Dragon Reborn.
Randall Thor.
Scott. But after that, you start wondering.
Yeah, the thing is, not to spoil too much, but the Dark Friends seem to be focused on an individual.
Yeah,
and that gives it away, kind of. But the side stories, as far as they go, are very like. They give a different view of who the dragon might be.
Yeah.
So it's like oh, look at the bird. I have a snake in my other hand. Yeah. It's like
because from my perspective, until like the last episode or 2, I was pretty sure, or my theory was that the Dragon Reborn was all 4 combined. That was my
interesting viewpoint for someone who hasn't read the book.
That's a theory we would never have because we've read the books, and so it's very interesting to hear your perspective on it. So there's a lot of things that have changed, especially
I don't know how anti-spoiler we are going to be in this podcast.
We're going to spoil anything that's happened.
Okay.
Because it's a relatively old show, and we'll have it in the title of the episode.
So in the end of the last episode, you have the I don't remember the name for them, but the sea people, the people coming in on the ships.
Yeah.
That shit didn't happen until way later in the books.
Oh. Yeah, so I'm
like, what the fuck is going on?
I'm very interested in what's going to happen, like the first episode next season.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of things happening.
But yeah, one of the biggest things they've done is age up all of the characters because they're more like early teenage years in the books.
Well, middle early teenagers, but everyone now is like 20.
They're adults.
Yeah,
between 20 and 27 maybe. For Perrin, at least. Perrin seems very old at that point.
But if you ignore like the age of the actors, their personalities and like how they behave seems to be like 18 to 21, I would say, because it's a lot of stupid decisions. Yeah.
So that's probably a side effect of them being aged up and still following the same story.
Exactly.
But also, Perrin had a wife.
Yes. He did not, I believe.
Very interesting. Yeah, no, he was not married at that point.
Yeah, I think he had a girlfriend.
Not at the start.
He didn't?
No, I'm pretty sure.
I remember the later books, but the first one is like, so many years ago.
Yeah.
But a fun question for you two who actually read the books. The actor who's not going to be with...
Matt.
Yeah, Matt. How was it? Because did anything happen with him that you didn't expect? Was he not with the groups in certain parts?
Okay, so the thing is, he was most likely either fired or left the show early.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to write him out of the show for the last half of the season. So he was supposed to go with the group. And do you remember in the last episode when Perrin does the thing with
the coin?
The guy with the box and the horn?
Oh, yeah. Fuck. I don't remember what he's called, but yes, the dark friend. I know which.
The guy who was with the traveling, not traveling. Yeah, the traveling merchant.
Yeah, the guy who's
the traveling merchant you see in the very first episode.
Padan Fane.
Yes, Padan Fane.
Matt was the one who was supposed to be around him at that point.
Yes.
And as you've seen all the way in the start of the first episode, he's starting to build up sort of a relationship with Padan Fane, and he's doing some dealings with him. Perrin never built up any relationship with that guy. So it doesn't really make sense that he's the one to react to seeing Padan Fane and everything.
Okay.
So that was supposed to be Matt.
Yeah, so they just had to make Perrin do it because Matt wasn't there.
Yeah,
okay.
They didn't have an actor for him.
But Matt is coming back season 2 though, isn't it?
Yeah, new actor is going to be joining, and it's going to be very interesting to see where his story goes now.
If they don't stray even further away from the books, Matt is essential for the story.
Yeah, okay.
All of them are.
All of them are in some way, but it's like he is one of the tavern, the one of the like.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to seeing how they actually write him back in then?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I discussed this with you guys or someone else. If they start the episode with "We're sorry, but the actor playing Matt Cawthorne has been replaced because of reasons," that's a completely fine excuse for me. Stuff happens. People, like maybe his parents died, I don't know. Whatever reason, it's not important. As long as they like acknowledge that the actor has been changed, I'm completely okay with it.
They did release a press statement as soon as it happened before the first episode was released. Okay. But I'm really interested in what his story is going to be, because in one of the episodes we see him going back to the fallen city.
Yeah.
But that never happened in the books.
No, it did.
So,
but it's like in the 4th book or something like that. He went back, but it wasn't a long trip. He didn't stay there, as far as I remember, at least. But I might be correct as well.
Anyway.
Because I am old.
Yeah, the Lost City as well. That's basically when... Because that was when Frodo and Sam and everything was sent by the orcs, right?
No.
It's basically the same, though. It's basically the same.
No.
It doesn't mean the series is bad. It's really, really great.
I will give you that one, that the beginning is very The Hobbit or very The Lord of the Rings, where Gandalf, the mage or like mysterious person, goes to a village and picks up X amount of people.
Yeah.
I will give you that one.
Have you heard about the announcement of the Lord of the Rings TV series, though?
What?
They've announced the name.
Is it a side story?
No, it's 1,000 years before.
Oh, so it's Silmarillion or something like that.
I think it is actually similar.
Okay,
Sauron is going to be playing a part in that one.
Yeah.
So it will be Silmarillion then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably the age before the one they have in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. But they announced the title. They announced when it comes out, and they actually announced the budget as well.
The budget?
Yeah. So it's coming out 4th of September.
4th, yes.
If I remember correctly. The name is The Forging of the Rings.
Yeah, so it's
A Fire of the Rings. Something like that. And the budget is 5 times the size Game of Thrones had in their last season.
Damn. That might actually be good.
It's the biggest budget ever on a
TV series.
And that's only for the first season.
Yeah, and if it succeeds, then
Exactly.
It's also pushing the release of season 2 of Wheel of Time, because it's also Amazon Prime.
Oh, I see.
The Rings of Power, yeah.
Yeah, the Rings of Power, because then it'll be very late Silmarillion I believe. I haven't read Silmarillion, excuse me, nerds, but
I haven't either.
I have watched some lore stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay.
And it sounds like late stage Silmarillion, which is the preceding book to The Hobbit.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
I've read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, both of which they're okay. Considering I like
long-minded, I believe.
Yeah, and I feel like modern epic fantasy is a lot better. Often, a lot of the bigger ones though, not the smaller. Yeah, like Wheel of Time and basically everything Brandon Sanderson is writing.
Yeah.
Mostly because it feels like Tolkien didn't plan his books as well as a lot of more modern books do.
I believe he wrote The Hobbit first.
I think he wrote The Hobbit to sort of fill some of his plot holes from The Lord of the Rings. And
so
then
it was Lord of the Rings, Silmarillion, and then The Hobbit, or something like that.
But this book, this TV show is not going to be based solely on the book or book series or whatever.
No, the thing is, the Silmarillion is kind of as far as I understand at least, it's a collection of like historical facts.
Okay.
Like this happened in that age, this happened then. They moved from here to there in that time and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that.
So they're going to have a lot of freedom.
I think so.
Well, freedom, because we do know what's happened after that.
Yes, and if they go off the book, we do know some specific facts that happen at specific points in time.
Yeah.
But they have a lot of dead space or empty space where they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, but like if they include dwarves and stuff, we know where they are based.
Yeah.
Whereabouts at least.
Yeah, mostly.
And stuff like that, and same with elves and stuff. So they don't have complete freedom.
No, but they do have a lot of creative freedom for like minor events.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the videos I've watched of the Silmarillion books mostly have been like bigger wars, the elves fighting against Sauron and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking very much forward to it.
I'm kind of basing because I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I've always been more of a Harry Potter
freak.
Harry Potter.
But
I've enjoyed Lord of the Rings, but I'm basically basing my looking forwardness on Wheel of Time. So seeing how good Wheel of Time is and how much I enjoyed that.
To be fair, they are both Amazon produced.
Yeah.
So you can probably expect something along the same lines.
But with
a bigger budget.
A lot bigger budget.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Talk about Harry Potter. That's one of my most favorite book series ever.
Yes, mine as well.
But it's also one of the sort of biggest plot hole written books ever. Let's just ignore that part. No,
yeah. We don't talk about that.
Like the time turners, for example.
Like you can fix everything with time turners because you can.
Yep.
No one says that.
Nope. They're used once.
Yeah. They use once and it's very convoluted because you can't do this because you can meet yourself. And it's like, why don't I go 2 days back and fix everything?
Oh, they only use the time turner once in the books?
Yeah. No, in the books.
And the explanation is also that anything that happens using a time turner has already happened.
Yeah.
Which means you can't actually use a time turner to change anything.
No.
Oh, okay.
Which means you have to use a time turner if one was used, which means...
It
doesn't make any sense.
It's essentially causality or destiny theory because you can't change the past because the past has already happened, so you can't change it, but you can fulfill the past by doing it. It's very...
And J.K. Rowling...
It's the boring version of time travel.
Yeah. J.K. Rowling also realized how stupid it was and stopped using them.
Yeah.
But that's
because that year they used the time traveler in the movie scenes. Hermione Potter, she actually used it for all her classes, but they didn't build on that. The only actual time travel part of the book and the movie is when they go back and fix a couple of things, which is I think they go back 1 day, no, half a day.
Yeah,
something like
just like 4 hours. Or something.
Yeah, a couple of hours.
Yeah,
but it's like you can't change anything because you've already done it technically.
And if you, after seeing them go back in time and then seeing the movie again, you can see that what they did in the future already happened in the scenes going back because Hermione reacted to something happened behind her. I think it was when Hermione threw a rock or something.
Yeah.
And then what just happened? And then
all the scenes in the movie explain the time travel. To be fair, very well.
Yeah.
But it's still the very boring kind of time travel because you can't change anything. It's not possible to change anything because you already did it technically.
Yeah. And it's also a very good plot device for everything that happens in the next couple of books and previous books. And it's a problem solver that you can't use because
and the
it would be boring.
villain could have used it.
Yeah.
It's a very big plot hole.
Funny though, talking about the books, Harry Potter books are actually the only books I've ever not read but listened to. I can't remember anything from the books because I tried to get into audiobooks while leveling up in World of Warcraft.
I see.
But I just had some noise in my ears and couldn't actually remember anything that happened. But
because
it was more interesting listening to Stephen Fry's voice than actually caring about what he said.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was the voice actor for Harry Potter.
Indeed, he was.
And
amazing voice.
I watched an interview with Stephen Fry later, which was there was a word in the books that he wasn't able to pronounce properly, and he asked J.K. Rowling, can I skip this word? Can you give me something else?
Yeah.
And she was like, no. And then she wrote it repeatedly in the books afterwards.
I remember that. I remember Stephen Fry talked about that on Graham Norton's show or something.
Yeah,
like that.
something like that.
That's pretty funny.
And it's like, I would do the same thing.
Yeah, I would do too.
I remembered him doing Hermione in the start.
Yeah.
Which is the way J.K. Rowling wants you to say the name. Hermione.
What?
But
It's
everyone
Hermione.
stops doing it. Even the narrator stops using that way and saying it Hermione.
Yeah, because Hermione is wrong.
Just sounds terrible.
Did any of you watch the 20th year anniversary Harry Potter thing?
Not yet.
No, I saw a trailer of the thing, but it seems to be like just a meetup of the actors.
Yeah.
It's not like a new mini movie
No.
something. It's just like, look at all the actors, they're back now.
Yeah, it's just talking about everything that happened behind the scenes, I guess. Like, for example, that Hermione, the actor of Hermione, whatever her name is, and the actor of the
Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe?
Slytherin guy.
Oh, I don't remember the actor's name, but you mean Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, Tom Felton, is that? I think
possibly.
They were best friends and something like that.
Oh.
So that's the whole thing, really, just talking about everything that happened behind the scenes and stuff. And that Hermione actually wanted to quit, or whatever her name is, Emma Watson. Wanted to quit Harry Potter after like 4 films or something.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of them probably did at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like for us, it's 1 year approximately between every movie. But for them, it's 1 year of being together and filming and late days and late nights and
It's what, 7 movies?
Yeah, and school in addition.
Yeah, I think she said like when the fandom really hits or like the stardom, hit, she started to feel a lot alone because everything she couldn't be normal anymore.
Yeah, you have the idol issue essentially, which is, you're not a normal person anymore. You're an actor. You're a star. Yeah. We're not good enough for you, so we'll leave you alone. And apparently, a lot of actors do actually experience a lot of that.
Yeah,
which is isolating, and we as humans prefer to be like social.
I can feel exactly how they feel because after we started this podcast, like I felt the same thing.
Yes, but you're the most social of us.
Yeah, true.
You're a freak.
I'm a freak of nature. True.
Yep.
I sit in my apartment all alone and I'm happy with that.
I just work all day.
Yes, you do.
So have you guys seen any other interesting shows or played any interesting games?
Yes. Since we've been on such a long break, if you can call it, it's not a break, it's a forced break. Yeah. Since we've been on such a long forced break, I figured out that I would go into my nerddom. Go into like becoming a better nerd. it took some time before I actually started doing it. But there is one TV show that I have not seen that I figured I had to see to be able to call myself a nerd. It's not probably the staple of nerdom, but it's a big staple. It's got 10 seasons. It started in 1997, and that was the first show. And then they started a new show in about 2010. That went on for 3 seasons, I believe.
Drama?
Nope. And then later on, there came a new series as well. That went on for 2 or 3 seasons, I believe. It's Stargate.
Oh, yes.
So I've been binging Stargate.
If that's a requirement for being a nerd, I'm not a nerd.
Isn't it?
You're not a nerd. I've watched.
I haven't seen Stargate.
No, Stargate. I watched Stargate SG-1.
Yeah.
And I think it was, I don't remember if it's all of it, but the Atlantis one.
Yeah.
I watched most of it, I believe.
It's just not the most recent one.
Isn't Stargate like
No.
a big nerd culture series?
It's one, but it's not a big one.
Like you have in school, you have social groups. In nerddom, you also have nerd groups. And Stargate is like one of the groups.
Okay.
I don't know which one because I don't know too many blood fans of Stargate.
Yeah, me either. I do love the SG-1 Stargate.
Yeah.
It's very good. You can ignore the movie.
Yeah.
That's just essentially the first 2 episodes of the series, I believe.
Yeah, the first 2.
Yeah.
I was told I had to see the movie, but I didn't bother. But I did read a
synopsis?
Yeah, of the movie. So I didn't know what happened in the movie. And I felt like I got every reference to the movie.
Yeah.
In the first
essentially, spoilers. The first, I think it's 1, 2, or 3 episodes of the series are essentially the same plot as the movie. The actors are different, but the plot is the same.
No, it's after the movie. It's set after. So it's basically the same characters, but it's like in the movie they go to, I can't remember what the planet is called, but they go to the planet, and at the end of the movie, one of or the scientist is left behind. And the other guys will go back to Earth and they retire.
Yeah.
And in the movie they start with getting the group back together.
No.
In the series, the first episode of Stargate SG-1, the main character, the one played by MacGyver, gets brought back from retirement to go to the planet.
I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But I thought I have to watch it again. My apologies. But I remembered it as being the same plot as the movie. They go to this planet, they blow up the bad guy, and one guy gets left behind. But I probably remember it incorrectly.
No, that's just a movie.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's basically continuing off the movie.
Yeah. But I do love the series, though.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. I almost finished with season 1. I got like 5-6 episodes more left.
Nice.
And I'm gonna continue. I've been like last.
You like Teal'c?
Yeah, Teal'c is cool.
Teal'c is fantastic.
It's pretty cool. So I'm gonna continue.
Gold.
That's gonna be my show to watch the next month, I guess.
Yeah,
cool.
It's a very nice series.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that there will be some Stargate questions on the quiz.
Probably not because I haven't seen it myself.
God damn it! You have to watch it now.
I do. So episode 25, I'll have some Stargate questions.
Okay, good.
I'm actually going to note that down.
I'll be ready for that.
Yes, so am I. The problem is you've just recently watched it, so I'll either have to rely on my old knowledge or I'll have to rewatch it again.
Sure.
To be fair, I do remember a lot of the lore.
Yeah.
But I don't remember names, which is a problem.
I never remember names anyways.
I've been doing what's considered sort of the most nerd thing people do nowadays. And that is I've started rewatching all of the MCU movies.
Oh, yes. Excellent movies, though, mostly.
Yeah, with someone who hasn't seen them before. So that's always super interesting. We're watching them in release order. Because I want to get the after credit scenes in context.
Yeah, I understand.
Instead of getting sort of Captain Marvel as the second movie.
funny thing right there, because since you said the extra credit, the after movie thing, because I just watched Eternals, and I just got yelled at because I forgot to watch the after credit scenes.
They're pretty good in Eternals.
I haven't watched them, so I don't know.
So you should see them.
But
it's on Disney Plus, so it's easy to
Eternals,
just go back and watch.
I wasn't a terrible fan of the movie.
No.
It's mostly like okay.
Yeah.
And some of the action scenes are very nice, and some of the special effects are quite nice, and the powers of the individuals are mostly cool. But it, like, for an MCU movie, it's like eh.
Yeah.
It's building up a lot of interesting things for the future, but it doesn't really sit as one of the greats on its own.
No.
I think it got an IMDb rating of like 6.2, and I totally agree.
It's also doing something that Marvel movies don't usually do, and that is building up the sequel.
Oh, there's going to be a sequel.
Yeah, and this movie really shows that there is going to be a sequel.
Yeah, because I felt it was very open-ended.
Yeah, it's open-ended. They're kidnapped. I've just told everyone the ending of Eternal.
Oh no!
But it's been out for
2 months ago.
Yeah, over 2 months.
Yeah, something like that. It's on streaming, streaming platforms.
It's been on Disney Plus for a while.
Yeah.
But anyway, they all get abducted.
Adopted.
Well, they do get abducted by their paternal father, technically.
Maternal.
Yeah,
creator.
I'm not going to assign a gender to the Celestials.
the god entity, essentially.
But they are building up the Celestials for a future in the MCU, which is very interesting.
Yeah, but they are, like, in the background, they are massive characters of the MCU. You don't see them mostly, but like Spider-Man met them, Iron Man met them. I believe almost all of them met them at some point.
And a spoiler for Kenneth, because they actually in this one reveal or confirm the fact that Thanos is half eternal.
Well, I don't remember it completely, but he's half eternal.
Yeah. And we already know about one half celestial. Do you know who that is?
One half celestial.
This could have been a good quiz question.
Yeah, it should have been a quiz question because I don't have celestial.
Half celestial.
Yeah, it's his half brother, is it not?
No, it's Star-Lord.
Oh yeah.
Who's Star-Lord?
I didn't remember that.
Star-Lord.
Chris
Pratt.
Oh, the guy in
the dance-off
with the rat and
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Not rat. Yeah. He's a raccoon.
Yeah, okay, raccoon.
Goddamn.
Rocket Raccoon.
True.
And Groot.
Yeah.
I am Groot.
And also Harry Styles is confirmed in the MCU.
Yeah, I saw him.
Oh, Harry Styles in MCU?
Yes.
Why? As who?
Reasons.
You'll have to see the end credits.
Yes, you'll have to see the end credits.
Eternals.
Oh, is that?
Yeah.
Okay, shit.
Yep.
You haven't watched that one.
I've seen Eternals, but I didn't see the end credits.
Yeah, he skipped that.
God damn it, Kenneth.
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. So anyway, I've gotten to Civil War now, which is where the MCU really starts picking up and becoming very interesting with a lot of superheroes and a lot of sort of dilemmas and stuff
and
like
releasing like 90 movies in a year and stuff like that.
It's awesome.
Not that many, but
not far from it either.
But anyway, the most interesting and coolest thing about the MCU currently is the fact that Spider-Man 1, 2, 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 is now technically a part of the MCU.
Yes.
So before you watch Spider-Man No Way Home, you have to also watch Spider-Man 1, 2, 3 and The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2.
You have to watch all the Spider-Man stuff from like after 2000?
Yeah, basically.
No Way Home, is that a new one?
That's the latest one, yes.
What was the one before that?
And Far From Home.
Far From Home.
And then Homecoming.
I have to say, I watched it just like last week, and it's very good. I do recommend it highly.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
It is very, very good.
Yeah.
This is Amazing Spider-Man after all.
No, this is not The Amazing Spider-Man.
Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I tried. I tried something and failed.
That's Andrew Garfield.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
He's The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yes.
Okay. Well, Spider-Man is at least my favorite character in MCU. So I'm gonna watch it, but
mine is still Doctor Strange, I think.
Yeah, he's cool.
No, Doctor Strange and Wong. they together are fantastic.
The coolest thing about Doctor Strange was the first scene in the first movie when he's in like the walk-in closet of his house and putting on the nice watch and the nice suit and everything. That I like that. I like that Doctor Strange.
You're so superficial, god damn it.
Nah.
Anyway, my favorite MCU character is Deadpool.
Yeah. Cool.
I remand my earlier statement. Yep. Deadpool is the best
because he is a confirmed MCU character due to a trailer with Korg.
Trailer with Korg.
Isn't that the correct name?
Korg, that's the monster thingy.
It's not Korg.
But like, if you go back, he is canonically, with Spider-Man.
Korg is the rock giant thing from Ragnarok.
Korg.
Yeah.
Korg.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
Australia. No, New Zealander.
That's the best voice for a character in any movie ever.
And it's especially interesting because it's voiced by the director.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's also the director for a movie and a TV series I quite like, which is What We Do in the Dark. If you haven't watched that, you should probably watch it.
What We Do in the Dark?
What We Do in the Dark. It's I think it's 3 or 4. It's 4 in the original like movie, the first very first showing of them, 4 vampires that live in a house together in, I think it's Australia, it might be New Zealand, I don't know. And the series is again 4 vampires, but one of them has been changed out. And it's a comedy series about vampires.
Anyway, I was talking about Korg.
Good.
Cannot be bothered.
A very interesting thing about Korg, he's always talking about the rebellion and his uncle.
Yes.
I was rewatching Thor 2, Dark World, the one I never rewatch. But in that, he kills Korg's uncle.
Yeah, it's the first Stone Warrior.
Yeah.
That's his uncle?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
It's hilarious. I'm not sure if it's actually confirmed. I believe it is.
They're like, fight, and then Thor just...
Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I'm not 100% sure it's actually canon.
But it appears to be.
But people like to say it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
The director is Waititi or something like that. I don't recall his name properly.
Waititi, something.
Yeah, something like that. He's very good. I love, like, almost everything he makes, I love.
What did you call him?
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. He's
cool
from New Zealand, I believe.
Cool name. I like that.
Taika.
Yeah, you've seen him. He is one of the actors that plays the vampires in What We Do in the Dark, amongst other things, and he's the voice actor for the rock guy.
Yeah,
and he's the one that went on after Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah,
the one where it went very psychedelic with the colors. Yeah. That's when he started.
He's also making Love and Thunder. Yeah, the next Thor film.
Yeah, with that. Oh my God, the weird guy.
What?
Goldblum.
Oh, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was such a bad character.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is like a treasure.
No.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
He kind of in the same way that we had, unfortunately, during the new year. Now we had an unfortunate death among actors, which was Betty White.
Yeah.
And she was like, for the internet, she was like, "Hello, Grandma.
For the memes,
we all love you."
Yeah. But anyway, he's also playing the bad guy in Guy.
Yeah.
Guy?
Yeah,
Guy.
the movie about the video game.
Ryan Reynolds,
the AI.
Guy.
Jeff Reynolds.
The guy? Isn't it just Guy?
I think it's Guy.
Oh, yeah, you mean Taika Waititi?
Free guy.
Yeah, Taika Waititi is the villain. I thought
not Betty White, no.
No, I thought you were talking about Jeff Goldblum,
oh.
which is why I was confused.
Jeff Goldblum is the villain in real life.
That guy, what was it called?
Free
Guy. I like that movie.
It's hilarious.
It's not an excellently written movie.
No.
It's not an excellently acted movie.
No.
Though Ryan Reynolds is always
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a perfect Ryan Reynolds movie.
It's a perfect Ryan Reynolds movie that's not Deadpool.
Yeah. But it's still kind of the same humor.
It's very much the same humor. It's essentially if Deadpool was
a normal guy.
Well, not a normal guy, but
a free guy.
A too optimistic guy.
Yeah, true.
It's like everything is very good. That's essentially Deadpool then.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people could have pulled off the bulky, buff guy version of themselves like he did.
So funny.
It's just so bad, but also amazing.
So amazing, yeah.
It's oh my god.
The catchphrase.
I actually think I laughed out loud so many
Yeah,
times.
it's a very funny movie. It's not a good movie. It's a very entertaining movie.
Yeah,
it's so funny.
So we've been talking about it a few times now. So 2 months ago when we started doing this podcast, so we did one whole episode. We started doing a quiz.
Yes.
Where I asked two of you a question or three, and see who of you is the nerdiest nerd.
Åvar leads 1-0.
Yes,
Yep.
I suspect you have modified the questions to not be in my favor.
I am going to progressively go a little bit harder in the start because I wanted to start on a very easy level just to gauge your knowledge on these things.
No, was that easy?
That was very easy.
The first one was very easy.
You even answered one correctly.
Yeah, one of the questions was...
You answered one question where I held myself back from answering.
You're not supposed to know any of these.
I mean, for a tough ride, I guess.
Okay. Question number 1.
No, we need our buzzers.
Boing.
Oh, yeah.
Same as
buzzers
last time.
for Åvar.
I
Boing.
want King Ken. King Ken.
Okay. That's an interesting voice or sound. Anyway,
I'm ready.
Question number 1. What shape was the first Borg vessel to be encountered by the USS Enterprise?
Boing. A square cube.
Okay. Yeah,
Did you have any ideas, Kenneth?
Nope. I was going to...
I said a square cube, but it's a cube.
It's a cube.
I was going to buzz in just to buzz in, and I was going to say a triangle.
Do you... No, you haven't gotten that far, maybe.
That's Star Trek.
That's Star Trek.
No, but I thought he had watched Star Trek. I know we talked about Stargate earlier. Yep. I'm not confusing that.
Good.
I'm talking about Star Trek.
I did start on Star Trek. So I watched a lot of Star
because
Trek,
you told me you started that.
But it's a long time.
He started Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah.
I don't think...
but that,
are they in there?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
I just remember some red thing.
It's
red
like
rooms.
season 5 or something.
Okay, question number 2.
Yes.
How many members are there in the Fellowship of the Ring?
King Ken. I have no clue. 9.
9 is correct.
How many?
Let's go.
How many members are there in the Fellowship of the Ring?
I didn't even hear the question properly. But
that
yes,
was
9. That is
guess.
correct. Yeah, good guess.
Thank you.
Question number 3, if you're ready. What 9th level spell has appeared in every single edition of D&D?
King Ken. Fireball.
Nope, wrong answer.
Damn.
9th level.
Wish?
Correct, it's
Damn,
Wish.
Bro.
God damn, I had to dig for that one because I've not played D&D in so
I don't know
long.
Wish is in.
Fireball is a level 3 spell.
Yeah, that's an early level spell.
Don't you have like different levels of the same spell?
You can cast Fireball as a level 9 spell if you want to, but it's a 3rd level spell.
But Wish you only have access to when you get access to level 9 spell slots.
Okay.
And
it's very iconic.
It's very iconic, but I haven't actually played enough 5e to be certain it was in 5e, but I suspected it was.
I've never heard of it.
It's a fantastic... if you've ever heard the myth of genies, like from Aladdin, the genie in the lamp, they grant wishes. Yeah. One of the spells you learn in 9th level if you're a cleric or sorcerer or wizard, I think. Arcane or... Anyway, it's not
I think
important.
it's just cleric.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You get the wish spell. It's not that powerful, but it's like you can resurrect someone, you can wish for like gold or magical items, a couple of things you can like ask for and you just get it.
I love that I say it's probably a cleric spell because it's only sorcerer and wizard in 5e.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think in 3.5 it was cleric and wizards also, or arcane and divine casters.
Yeah.
Can you wish for your opponent to be dead?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, actually you can, but it's restricted depending on how powerful your enemy is.
Okay.
So if your enemy is like a god, you can't wish them dead.
I read a theoretical question on a forum a few weeks ago where someone was asking, if I cast the wish spell, can I wish that a human's lifespan is the same as his elven spouse? And I would say yes, I would shorten the elf's lifespan to match the human.
Yeah, because this is the issue with jinns or genies in lore, which is we think of them like a lot of us think of them of this Aladdin with the lamp and the genie, Robin Williams style, which is very benevolent and helpful and like, yes, we'll fix that. But the original lore for them are tricksters. So I would, if I was, actually I could be a genie. Like he said that if you wished for a lifespan to match your elven wife, it's like, okay, your elven wife can now only age to like 80 years old.
Or if you have a very mean DM, yeah, you're dead.
Yeah.
Both of you.
For example.
Same lifespan.
Wording is essential when it comes to genies and wishes.
Yeah.
But the wish spell, I think, is a little bit more forgiving because it depends on the caster.
It depends on the DM.
Yes, of course, that as well.
But yeah, so you can wish for anything you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's one of the spells I like, of course, again, because I like Magic the Gathering and wording is essential.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun as both a player and a DM because anything can happen.
Yeah.
Isn't Wish a card in Magic as well?
Yeah, from the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah, from Forgotten Realms. But it's like the wish spell is essentially, if you have it in a stressful situation and you ask the wish spell, I don't want to be here. I wish I would be anywhere else. And it's like you're at the bottom of the ocean now. Haha, get wrecked.
Or you're both at the bottom of the ocean and the sky type of thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's like you have to specify very carefully.
That's pretty funny for a DM, though.
Yeah, it's very fun for a DM because it's essentially a gigantic opportunity to do whatever the hell you want. So if your players haven't been cooperating story-wise, it's like, I wish I was where I was needed, which no player would ever wish that. But the GM is like, okay, you're in the Lich's lair now, exactly where I wanted you.
So warlocks and wizards.
Sorcerers.
Sorcerer and wizard.
So the standard spellcasters, basically.
Okay. Warlocks are powerful in their way, but warlocks are not 9th level spells powerful.
Oh, okay.
So our discussion now is basically a warning to Camilla.
Yep.
When she reaches that level, be careful.
Relgalin. Or Relgadin.
Relgalin. Be very careful if you ever experience having access to the wish spell.
Be careful.
Yes.
I'm not the forgiving type.
As the saying goes, be careful what you wish for.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was funny. You know, Relgalin, the player from the D&D group of his streams.
Destiny by Dice.
Yeah, she her name is Relgalin, but the first 10 times she said her name, I could not understand what she said. So I was certain she said Rullegardin every time.
Which in Norwegian is roll down curtains?
Yeah, roll down curtains. So it sounds kind of the same, but not really. But I could not understand what she said.
It's close enough. I understand the issue, yes.
So the first stream they had, her name on stream was Rullegardin.
But I have to point something important out. Do you know what it is, Kenneth?
No.
I win! Get wrecked.
2-1. No, 2-0, I mean.
2-0.
Yeah, yep.
But both times it's been 2-1.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
so you are right in the seals.
Yeah, this one, the second one, I didn't actually remember, but if I'd had the time, I think I could have counted them.
Yeah. Let's see if I can count them. You have the 4 guys.
The 4 hobbits.
The 4 hobbits. Frodo, Sam,
Merry and Pippin.
and these 2, those 2.
And those
two.
guys.
The other guys.
And we have Aragorn,
Aragorn.
Gimli, Legolas.
Legolas.
Do you have more than that?
Boromir.
Yeah, Boromir. I don't remember his name,
Boromir,
but yes.
yeah. And then there's one more.
There is a certain wizard.
Oh, Gandalf. All right.
Gandalf,
That's
which
9.
is 9.
Yeah, okay.
I could have counted them. I
The
didn't.
hardest one is always Boromir.
Yeah, because I remember the character. I don't remember the name because I'm shit at names.
So I actually
Faramir.
Faramir, which is the better brother.
Yeah.
So I actually got 9 on that one. That's pretty darn lucky.
Very lucky. But I think I suspect you had it in like the back of your mind somewhere.
Yeah.
How good or bad he is sort of contested, though. It could be mostly be if
he acquitted. No, he showed his human will at the end.
Yeah, but it's also
but he was the first to get corrupted.
Yeah. The influence of the ring caught him really hard because he has a questionable past and morals.
Well, questionable past, but by law, in the law, the humans are the easiest to corrupt. So it's like, fair enough, I can live with that.
Yeah.
And Aragorn is like not quite human.
Yeah, he's not a full human.
Yeah, he's like
he's not.
No,
he's a royal line.
The royal human line is like.
Oh, but still.
It's like the elves have a long lifespan. The royal line is the purest human line, and way back, the humans actually had a very long lifespan. Not as long as the elves, by all means, but they had like as long as the dwarves.
I think he lives until he's like 150 or so. I think.
No, I think it was more than that.
More?
I think it was like 200 or 300.
Huh. Interesting.
By all means, the elves are essentially immortal. So, as long as they don't get killed.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah, the like Aragorn's lifespan could be
210 is what he lived until.
But he wasn't the longest lived human either, and he was like the great grandson of the original humans, which lived even longer, I believe. But I don't know enough of the lore.
So the royals before him had usually lived until they were 150s.
Oh, okay.
So he was an exception.
Long-lived. Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably because of his elven assistants and wife.
Okay.
Funny thing about Lord of the Rings, though, is that my first screen name was Gimli. My first nick in games, or screen names in games, was Gimli. So Gimli was like my favorite character in anything when I was a child.
Gimli is really cool.
Yeah. And yours were Legolas.
Yeah, I really love Legolas.
And our older brother was Aragorn.
In those days, nerd, fucking elves. No, all of the characters, like in hindsight, are really cool. The typical teenager cool one is Legolas, obviously. But I did love Gimli. Not long distance runners, dwarves.
No.
Dangerous on a sprint, though.
Yeah.
I love that one. Fantastic.
It's pretty funny.
So
it's too far. Toss me.
We also started a new tradition in episode 1.
Yes.
Which Åvar so kindly allowed me to win last time.
Yeah,
That's not a competition. We two are working together to get this.
Yes.
I won over him.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did. I'm gonna try and make it more difficult this time. I might stumble.
That probably makes it impossible.
So, shall we start?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is Bad Reviews with Åvar and Sindre and Kenneth. So, this is the title of the review. It's a 1 of 10. If you ever want to torture me, make me watch this again. This is the most supremely awful film I have ever witnessed in my life. The image of the actor looking like he just stepped out of the Mardi Gras is going to haunt me for the rest of my life. I feel violated. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a straight-down-the-middle kind of film goer. I love cult films. I love quirky films. Some people have mentioned Being John Malkovich is a film which is comparable in its weirdness. I love that movie, but I do not like this. I have no problem with people being gay, bi, transsexual, or transvestite. I don't care if someone is a lesbian vampire who enjoys bondage with camels. It still won't change the fact that this is the most disturbingly hideous and unpleasant film I've ever seen. There is not a single scene in this movie that did not resemble a drug-induced experience. I wept with tears of pain from start to finish. How this movie became a cult classic, I will never know.
I
probably gave away too much.
I'm struggling.
I'm actually blank.
But I'm thinking about one of the movies I haven't seen, which is a cult classic which everyone hates, but I can't remember the name.
I didn't pick up on anything that I could grab.
The only thing I omitted is the main actor's name.
Yeah. No, this is actually pretty done.
I'm trying to think. I think I'm wrong. So
I think you're probably correct because I think your knowledge of movies is fairly expensive.
It's a cult movie, at least.
It's a cult movie.
Is it a cult movie that there has been made a movie of?
What?
Maybe not. No. Then I'm wrong.
Is it
There might be, but I'm not aware of it.
Is it a movie within a franchise of movies?
No.
This is a standalone film.
Yeah, kind of. Do you want me to say?
Give me a hint. Yeah.
It has also been a screenplay.
Also been a screenplay.
I believe it was a screenplay and then a movie.
Only thing I think about is Cats.
I'm thinking about Harry Potter.
Oh, is it the film with all the cats thingies?
What?
Cats.
That's Cats.
Isn't
Yeah,
it just
That's
Cats?
Cats.
Because there was a movie recently about that.
Do you want the actor's name?
Yes, please.
The entire name?
Sure.
Okay. So the actor's name is Tim Curry.
Tim Curry, I never even heard of him.
Oh, you've seen him. It's guaranteed. He was in the
I'm not going to Google his name.
he was in this first or second Scary Movie. He was the professor going to the old mansion.
I am drawing blanks here, actually.
Huh. Yeah, me too.
Completely.
You definitely stepped up your game.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
I suspect that this one would be difficult, but I have been recommending people to watch this movie, including you two, I believe.
I know. No, Dark Room. No, the thing you said
there. You have. I can explain the start of the movie.
Okay, do.
You have a pair. I think they're engaged, if I remember correctly. Their car breaks down, and they have to walk through the rain to a mansion asking for help. Inside, they find a cast of different characters that are very quirky in each
Is it the
way.
Addams family?
No.
A couple that
That
car breaks down. They go up to a mansion, and there's a quirky bunch of people there.
Yes, a party. With a very well-known song.
It sounds so familiar.
That they play in the first 10 or 15 minutes.
It sounds so familiar.
Do you want to know?
Yeah, just give it to us.
I'm not going to give you the movie quite yet.
Okay.
But would you like to do the time walk again?
Time walk?
Let's do the time walk again.
That doesn't give me.
Let's do the time walk again.
We're apparently
I'm
not
going to tell you
enough.
the movie. It's Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I've
never heard of it.
Never?
I've never even heard of it.
God damn it. It's a fantastic movie. I highly recommend it. So it's a couple that goes into a mansion because the car broke down and they ask for help, just to use the phone. The first character they meet, I believe, is the caretaker. He's ever so slightly hunchbacked.
Okay. And
almost bald, but he has long as mine, so shoulder length hair on the sides, but he's bald on top.
Yeah.
And he gets them inside, and they meet guests, I would suspect. It's never explained. And they put on this musical show. It's kind of a musical movie. It's mostly a musical. Do you have the visuals now?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen the cover. I know the actor very well.
Tim Curry?
Yeah.
Yes, I suspected you would.
He looks like something. He looks like a guy that was on children's TV in Norway back in the day.
I think I know what you mean, but Tim Curry has played in a plethora of movies. He's very well known. He's been a voice actor in several TV series and movies. He played one of the commanders in Red Alert, I believe.
Okay.
And he's very, very good. But yeah, the show starts with that, and you have the first musical number, which is Let's Do the Time Walk Again. You can just YouTube it. You'll find it immediately. And which follows up with Tim Curry going in drag, which I think probably you have a picture of there. How do you do? I see you've met my faithful handyman. I've watched that movie quite a few times.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but just from the images and the description, I understand why this was chosen and why this is a bad review.
Yeah.
The movie, I like it, but it's a cult movie. So, to be fair, a lot of people probably don't like it. I like it a lot. I like musicals. I will not deny that. And the comedy is very on point. And you have Tim Curry, he's a very famous actor, and you have Meatloaf, which unfortunately died recently, I believe. He is one of the guest actors, and he has a song. And yeah, I highly recommend watching it.
Yeah.
But I win. Haha, you did not get anything.
The thing is,
I am the victor.
I think Sindre is kind of the same.
But that is on the hard end of the scale.
Yeah. But I think Sindre is on the same end as me, and we don't really watch too out there movies.
I don't.
You know what I mean?
I don't even remember how I stumbled upon it, but I think before Victory Point and before other shops in the local area, we only had the Outland shop, and they sold what we could probably define as foreign DVDs, which included stand-up comedians and stuff. And I think I found it there.
Oh, okay.
So
That's cool. Probably never gonna watch it, but it sounds cool.
I think you could probably find it on YouTube.
I'll keep it in the back of my head.
Yeah, it's probably very interesting, but I'm also probably not going to see it.
Yeah.
I think Sindre would enjoy it.
Yeah, I was thinking about The Room. Have you seen The Room? Or The Disaster Artist, which is the movie about the movie?
No.
No.
I believe I watched The Room.
It's a very weird movie. I haven't seen it. I've only seen clips from it with Tommy Wiseau. And James Franco made a movie about Tommy Wiseau and him making the movie.
That one, yeah. No, I haven't actually
I haven't seen either of them. I've just seen a lot of clips from both.
Yeah. I didn't hear. Oh, hi, Frank. But yeah, no, it's
mostly
Rocky
because
Horror Picture Show.
Shortly after this movie came out is when James Franco sort of was revealed as being a big douchebag. So I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like seeing it.
Is James Franco a douchebag?
Yeah.
Why?
He's a dick, basically.
Yeah, he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
Okay.
The short answer is he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
I gotta read up on that. I did like James Franco. So
yeah, he does a lot of nasty stuff.
Okay, I need to read up on that, and then probably.
I haven't read too much up on what he actually did, but little things I caught was pretty bad.
Okay. Moving on from that.
Yeah. We had a board game we played over 2 months ago now.
Yep.
We played the Imperial Settlers.
Indeed.
Yes.
I believe I remember the one most important thing about the game, and that's the fact that I won.
You did.
Yeah.
You did.
I played my faction incorrectly.
I remember one thing about the game. You got really mad because the one ability my faction had, I could
negate mine.
I could basically steal your abilities.
Yeah.
And at the start of the game, Sindre had the best ability, and I basically stole that ability
Oh,
and got really mad.
He ruined me so bad.
Yes, he did.
But
he did.
it's like with games. Read the description first, and then we go into that.
Yeah, so should I just read the description here?
Description on Imperial Settlers.
Imperial Settlers is a card game that lets players lead one of the 4 factions and build empires by placing buildings, then sending workers to those buildings to acquire new resources and abilities. The game is played over 5 rounds, during which players take various actions in order to explore new lands, build buildings, trade resources, conquer enemies, and thus score victory points. The core mechanism of Imperial Settlers is based on concepts from the author's card game 51 State.
So basically, you have
51st State.
Yeah, you have a game where you build like buildings on both sides of your boards. On the one side,
you have
safe.
faction buildings.
Yeah, they're safe. No one can touch them. On the other side, everyone can attack them or raid them,
destroy
or
them,
destroy
etc.
them.
Yes.
And the funny thing about the game we played, Sindre played the Japanese.
Well, yeah, kind of.
Yeah, I played Greek, Romans, I believe.
Romans, yeah.
I played essentially the Huns, so Asian barbarians.
Barbarians was
barbarians.
And I got an ability that made me use other people's abilities. And Sindre played the best abilities.
So you took his ability.
And it's so funny.
And I misplayed mine because I played almost no faction cards, which I should have.
Yeah, you played too much of the other ones.
Yes.
But the funny thing is, like when Sindre got mad, it's like I couldn't really do anything else because I just play what the cards I'm dealt.
Yeah.
And that was the best play. But I do understand the side of being targeted by that spell because it's annoying.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a no-win situation.
Yeah.
But it was a fun game though.
It's essentially the same concept as counterspelling in Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
Where you essentially say no, you don't get to do that.
Yeah.
which is a valid tactic, to be fair. I don't like it, but it's a valid tactic. And sometimes it's necessary. And in that game, you essentially countered, like denied him the opportunity to use the ability.
Yeah, because the Japanese faction had ability where they could put extra shields on their non-faction buildings. Samurai. But that cost resources. But since I started stealing Sindre's stuff, he felt necessary to put extra defense on his non-faction buildings. So I started attacking, going after you then. But that slowed him down. That like basically by me playing that way, Sindre was forced to not doing what he actually wanted.
And the barbarian faction should have been an offensive faction. I should have attacked a lot.
I was the most offensive in that game. So that's weird.
But he was technically the most offensive, and I should have attacked. If I built more.
I wasn't very offensive. He was offensive. I was just sort of building up. I needed to stay alone.
The thing is, the barbarian faction is an offensive faction by like just the cards that you have available in the faction cards. I built almost 0 of the faction cards. I didn't realize some choices. I misread some of the rules.
Yeah, you didn't realize you could pick faction cards.
Yeah. So what I should have been doing is build faction buildings and then started attacking you two.
Yeah,
but definitely. I didn't do that. So I think I ended up in last place.
I think it was pretty close. I think it was 4 points between.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge difference. Like Sindre won by all means, but
it was super close. Yeah, it was surprisingly close, considering how the game felt.
Yeah. That's the fun thing about playing new games, though. Like you don't know these things. You just take it at face value and try to do your best.
I said it on the end of that. I think has it been released on YouTube?
It's gonna be released before this podcast,
Okay, so if you watch that episode, you can see that or if it's included, if not, I just said that if I played again now, I would play it completely differently, which is typically what you do after playing a game for the first time.
Exactly. You figure out how the game works, and then you figure out your tactics after that. So it's pretty fun.
It was a nice game. I liked it.
I liked the game. Are we still doing ratings?
So a new thing on this podcast, which we haven't done before. We did it on our previous podcast, but on our first episode, we hadn't played a game yet. We like to play a game every other week, and then release that on YouTube, and then we talk about it on the podcast, and then we all rate the game according to our own interests and our subjective meaning about the game, what we like, how we like it, and give it a rating out of 1 to 10. And this rating Excel sheet that we have will be available for viewing in the description of at least our YouTube video. I'm not sure we can add that to other podcasts.
Could you put it on Nords and Nerds? I think so, yes.
Yeah.
The website we can put it on, and we can put it on YouTube, but it's not going to be probably not going to be available on normal podcast services.
We'll put it a lot of places, so you'll find it. But
yeah.
So anyway, we have a rating going from 1 to 10, and I'm going to read sort of the word description because we have a short description on each number. Starting on the top, if we give it a rating 10, that means it's perfect. If we give it a rating 9, it's a game I'll always bring along.
Yes.
8 is a very good game. 7 is a recommended game. 6 is a game I would play again. 5, it's okay. It's okay. 4, not recommended. I wouldn't tell my friends to play this game. 3 is a game I will probably not play again. 2 is a game I will actively tell people to stay away from. And 1 is Monopoly.
Monopoly.
Because geeks like to hate Monopoly.
Indeed.
Yes. To be fair, the rules in Monopoly could be adjusted and it would be an acceptable game. But as is, it's not a good game.
The thing is, Monopoly is made to be a bad game.
Yeah.
Because it was made by a socialist to show how capitalism is a bad system of monetary value. Yeah.
Indeed.
So the game works perfectly for what it's supposed to do, except for the fact that Monopoly is the best-selling game ever by a company that stole this game from the developer, who made it who made the game to show that capitalism doesn't work.
Indeed.
And
it's meant to be.
Capitalism really worked for this game.
I would say that capitalism works in the sense that it does benefit the rich, but capitalism doesn't work for the masses.
Yeah, and that's what Monopoly shows.
Yes, it does.
It works for the one douchebag that wins.
Yes.
The rest of you just hate the guy.
Yes.
But it's awesome. Well, it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's...
But the story is awesome.
Yeah, the story is awesome.
Indeed.
And it's just awesome how there's a Monopoly everything.
Yes.
If you can think of a theme, there's probably a Monopoly game about it.
Well, if you think about any theme that's been popular.
Anyway, I think that me and Kenneth have done this a few times before, so I think we should start with Kenneth rating this game.
Yeah. I remember I had a lot of fun playing it. It's a good game. It's a solid game. There's 4 factions in the starter box, and you could add on more. There's a lot of expansions, making the game different. I would definitely play it again. I would recommend it. I'll put it at 7.5 for me.
7.5. So between recommended and very good.
Yeah, it's not very good, but it is good.
It's way above average for you.
Way above average.
Åvar, what do you have to say about the Imperial Settlers?
I did enjoy it quite a lot, but for me it seems like a game where there probably is one faction that is like statistically better than the others, but that would require a lot of testing. So for me, I would play it again. It's a good game, and I might recommend it if it's like in a stack of games. So 6.5?
Yeah, 6.5. So for me, a thing that I realized while playing this game is that I got actually angry. And I rarely have those kinds of emotions in a game, especially a board game. And that's a good thing. I like when a game can really get me that invested and that annoyed about a decision another player made, which is a perfectly legal decision, perfectly legal move, and it made sense to do. But for me, it's like, oh, God damn it. But still, I came out on top, which means it didn't ruin me as much as I thought. And it was so annoying to me, but still not that devastating to ruin the game for me. The game looks amazing. The artwork, the entire sort of like play area for each player looks good.
And it's very efficient.
Yeah, and I like how each player has their own sort of boards that they're playing with and building up. And I also like that the factions are so sort of well built out.
Yes.
You have a card stock of your own, a deck of your own to pick from.
I actually have to agree a lot with that, because you could play this on 4 separate tables if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Because the only interaction between the players is looking at the other player's board, like what they have built of buildings, and like, I'm going to sabotage that, I'm going to attack that, I'm going to raid that. So the like mobility is quite good.
Yeah. What you're saying is that this could be a COVID-friendly game.
Yes, actually.
Definitely.
You could actually play it at home, I believe, via camera.
Yeah, actually.
Quite easily.
And also with all of the expansions, I haven't really looked at them. But the way I understand it is that they basically have more factions they can put into the game. So it starts with 4 factions, which give you sort of like 10 games that can be very varied as long as you switch the factions between players.
I think it might be 5 faction from the start.
Maybe.
No, I think it doesn't matter.
I'm not sure, but anyway, if you add one more faction, you have a whole lot of more games you can play before it sort of gets stale, and you start to learn the tactics of each faction, and then add another one, and another one, and then change it out and go back and forth.
And another one.
And also, if you take the new faction with the old factions and take the old factions out and the new factions in, it just becomes a new game. And I like that kind of customizability in a game.
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Now I'm really talking a lot of good about this game.
It is a good game.
It was fun. It was fun to play.
It's not a fantastic game, but it's a good game.
Yeah. So I'm going to align with Kenneth on a 7.5. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm the pessimist.
Yep.
Be that way.
So the average for this game is a 7.2.
So it's squarely on recommended.
Yes. We recommend this.
It is. We would recommend this game.
Yeah. So if anyone asks you if you want to play Imperial Settlers with them, listen to us and do it.
Say yes.
Yeah. Yes. Just try it.
Always just do it.
Anyway, now that we're finally done talking about the game that we played 2 months ago, we are going to do the thing that I always look forward to the most.
Nemesis.
We are going to
Not Nemesis.
roll our random picker to find the next game we're going to play.
In the Wheel of Fortune.
And we're rolling.
Come on, Nemesis.
Hoping for anything, Nemesis?
Come
what
on,
are you hoping for?
Nemesis.
Nothing?
I have no
Come
preference.
on, Nemesis.
I'm hoping for Munchkin. I don't even know if
Munchkin.
it's on the
I
list.
love Munchkin.
Yeah, me too.
I love Munchkin.
Vault.
Okay.
Volt. I think
believe
I've actually played
Vault
that one.
before as well.
Isn't that the Nikola Tesla and Edison and...
No, I think it's the thing on a train, isn't it?
No.
No, it's...
neither
Oh,
of
it's that. I haven't played Vault, no.
Neither of you.
I think I actually played it before, but not here. I played it in Bryne Brettspill.
Might be.
It looks interesting. It looks like a battlefield in the middle.
Now I see it.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to...
robot battles or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. In a ring.
Yeah.
So we're sort of fighting in a wrestling ring kind of deal.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to be playing that before the next podcast episode, so you can watch that before the next episode of our podcast airs.
Yes, sir.
And we'll be talking about it and rating it
I have
then.
not played that game.
And I think that's the perfect time to end tonight's podcast.
Oh, no.
No! This time it's not going to be 2 months until the next time.
I hope.
So we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, probably, maybe. We'll see.
Yep. So if you have any questions, if you like what we do, please like our YouTube video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment if you have any questions or comments, or send us an email to media@nordsandnerds.com. Thank you for watching, listening, interacting. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.